Imagine your country is telling you to get set up with a 72-hour survival kit. That's what we're going to talk about today. My name's Steven, and thank you for watching the SAC podcast. And specifically, we're talking about the EU. I'm going to go over some basics here, be reading off to the side a lot, so bear with me. The EU, it stands for the European Union. It's a political and economic union of 27 member states, primarily located in Europe, that works together to promote economic cooperation, peace, and stability. The EU is and has its own institutions, laws, and policies that affect various aspects of life for its citizens, including trade, travel, and currency. Now, what is going on here is back in March 27th, 2025, this year. I'm reading from the Euro News. It says Brussels asks EU citizens to put together a 72-hour kit to face crisis. Ooh, that's no bueno. I look at this as like a parent who knows something's happening but goes to their kids and tell them, get your clothes on, get your shoes, grab stuff, we're leaving, we gotta go, right? The kids don't know what the heck's going on, asking all kinds of questions, but they're just get ready, we're leaving, let's go. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. They knew something before all this was going to happen, I feel. So the emergency kits should include food, water, copies of important identity documents, among other items. The EU wants every member state to develop a 72-hour survival kit for citizens to face any new crises that may emerge as part of a preparedness union strategy, which also calls for more stockpiling of essential supplies and improved civilian military cooperation. So that's keywords there too. So they're thinking military is going to have to come into play at one of these points. So I wonder what they're thinking. And that is a scary idea. So for instance, just recently, not even a month after they put this out, there was a blackout in Spain and Portugal. So it was Monday 28th of April 25th, happened around 12:33 their time, like in the afternoon. A major power blackout occurred across Spain and Portugal, where electric power was interrupted for about 10 hours in most of the peninsula and longer in some areas. So like the probably more populated areas got it first, but that's 10 hours without any power. And could you imagine going about your day on the train or something? And it happened. That was one of the things I saw, that people were going through tunnels down underneath where the trains were going to get out. That is crazy. That's scary. I don't think these people had their emergency kits on them at this point, and I'm sure this kind of woke people up to the importance of doing that. But my goodness, there's something bigger on the horizon, perhaps. Hopefully it could be dealt with in the background. That's usually what happens, and then we find out about it like 10 years later. In the case that you're in a high populated area, if you can bug down and just not bug out but hunker down, that's what you're going to want to do, and keep that 72-hour stuff or whatever you have in your home and just ride it out as long as you can. That way you stay out of the chaos. That's my opinion. If you have to move and bug out, something happened, like I can't. I live in Florida, so we have hurricanes. One hurricane was so big, I want to say 5 years ago, it made a lot of people leave. And I'm not a Floridian by heart. And I was like, I'm not leaving, because if I leave, I'm going to have to come back and I'll have to deal with traffic twice. That's dangerous. Then power's still going to be out. I'm still going to have to do all the things anyway. Just sit down, sit tight. It's not going to be that bad. People, I think, thought major destruction was going to happen, which it did. If you were in areas where it gets flooded, you need to leave. But winds and stuff, you can survive that, even if you wrapped yourself around a tree. I'm just saying, unless that tree fell on you, then you're kind of donezy. But dealing with this whole power outage, I think the main thing they said was that it was a atmospheric event that did it. Now they're talking about perhaps it was a cyber attack, and of course, nobody wants to come out with that first because that just makes people look incompetent, and yeah, no one wants to admit that. So I think as this goes further, the longer it goes, the clearer it'll be. Scary stuff. So in the case, if you can hunker down in situations like that, then yeah, sit well knowing you got 72 hours of things that you need. If you have to bug out, then you do it quickly and efficiently and make sure you take as little as you need, but take what you need. That would be a crazy scenario, I guess, for my family of four. I could not imagine, 10 hours, people not knowing, phones not working. That could be the worst case scenario in the way that we've been accustomed to. Now, maybe back in the 90s, it wasn't such a big deal. It's like, oh, power's out, gotta go home. Oh, power's out there. What the heck's going on? Talk to your neighbor. All the power's out. Well, obviously, but that's concerning. I hope that people who their life is supported by power was able to actually live this one out. 10 hours is a big deal, especially for people on air and oxygen, and they don't have their canisters and they're living off of a plugged in machine. Be prepared. Anything can happen anywhere, especially now. I mean, the big C happened back in 2020, and now we're dealing with these potential atmospheric events or cyber attacks. There's a lot that can be done to protect yourself if you own your home and you have a nice little plot of land. Secure it the best way you can and sit your butt down while things happen around you if you can. And if you gotta go, find some people that you can trust. This one was really meant to just discuss this really quick. My opinions. If America starts with this whole 72-hour thing, I'll be prepared. But man, oh man, I ain't going far from my home because I know I'm safe here. Ultimately, what would you do in this case? Would you bug out and run if something big, major happened and you didn't necessarily have to? Now, if you have to, you have to. Some people will go down with the ship, and that's not good either. You have to make your own calls in these situations. Let me know if you guys want to talk more about these kind of things, or if you have your own opinions on it, let us know. I'll be interested to talk about that as well. Thank you for watching today, and you are important. You need to take care of yourself. If you're not sleeping when you should be, go ahead and turn this off and do that, where you can do a playlist of me where I can just help lull you to bed maybe. Either way, have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye.